Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My question is about our house and whether it's okay to sell it or if we should sell it. It's a little bit of a complex situation. We bought the house 2.5 years ago, and it's a 1940s home that needs a lot more work than what we had anticipated. So it's going to take us longer to update it than what we had anticipated. But along with that, we have a lot of really great neighbors, but we also have one really awful neighbor that is really making me want to move. But we want to make a good financial decision and not just an emotional decision.
Okay.
But sometimes emotional decisions aren't bad. Are you unsafe in your home?
I don't know. So I think we're okay, but
I can hear in your voice. Tell me what makes you think you might not be safe.
It's with a neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
The neighbor that you're talking what's going on?
Yeah, they're just really, they're hostile and aggressive and a little bit unpredictable in how they behave towards us, particularly around one situation where they really want to control where we park or our delivery drivers park or anybody who comes to our house parks on the public street between our homes. So much so that they've called the police on us twice for parking where they don't want us to park.
What do the police say?
The police, the first time he came over and talked to us after talking to them and said, "Hey, you're not doing anything wrong. They just make sure that you're being neighborly," which we have been up until about today when I ignored the neighbor because he comes outside and is very chipper and is like, "Hi, how are you?" But after having a run-in with them this weekend over parking during our garage sale, they feel very unpredictable.
Here's the deal. I want, when I turn onto my street to head up my driveway, I want my heart rate to start to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And that means my marriage has to be healthy. That means my relationship with my kids has to be healthy. That means I have to have mowed the yard when I said I was going to, taken the trash out, like all the stuff. That also means I have to be at peace with my neighbors.
Yeah.
And so that's a part of the homeowner experience. Now, if you say, hey, there's no chance that we can sit down at a table and say, hey, we're neighbors, like, can we talk this out? If that's not possible, it's not possible, then have a hard conversation. But I wouldn't go into debt. I wouldn't do anything stupid with my money. But if I'm tired of coming home to an unpeaceful neighborhood or unpeaceful home, yeah, I might consider moving.
Yeah. Okay.
So the home, Hannah, what's the money situation? How much do you guys, what equity do you have in it? Do you have money saved? Where would you go? I mean, what's the numbers around that?
I think that's part of the tension of it. I think we would have to rent. So I think the home is worth between $550 and $600. Our mortgage is about $420 on it. We do have a little bit of, well, not a little bit. We are on baby step 2. And we have a $90,000 HELOC and then a little bit of credit card debt for our business.
How long have y'all been married?
Almost 15 years.
Okay.
What's your husband say about the neighbors?
He's overly optimistic. There's been a couple of things, like he wants me to still be friendly with them. Today when I told him, I just waved just out of kind of politeness that wasn't real friendly with him. His first reaction was awe, and it was disappointed, but I told him I just think that they're manipulating us. And I don't even want to talk to them anymore.
Yeah, that's a fair boundary to draw.
It's a fair boundary. And also, I'm not going to give up my dignity for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to give you that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where I'm having a really hard time because when I had an interaction with her this weekend, I was physically shaking because I didn't know how far she would escalate. So it's just, I don't want to live near them, but it sucks to have to move for just that reason alone. And so And it's not just that reason. I dream of something different. But
if this is the case, if you were my wife and you came to me with this challenge, I would sell the house this weekend, and we would rent for a while. Because hey, here's the deal: this transition is going to come at a cost, some shape, form, or fashion. And can I use you as an example, not to kick you while you're down, but just to kind of paint a picture?
Sure.
This is one of those exact reasons why we tell people don't take out a HELOC. Because you never know when you're going to have a neighbor that wants to burn your house down. Right. And it's like, you know what, that's why we tell people to do things at the speed of cash and yada, yada, yada. We sound like a broken record, but what we're doing is we're giving people margin in case something happens, which something does happen. And so, but if you sit down with your husband and say, I don't feel safe here anymore, either he's going to go next door and say, hey, can we just talk about this like adults and come to some sort of understanding here? My wife's scared. Y'all hate us as neighbors. Can we just solve this? Or, all right, we're going to put the house on the market and we're going to go. And we're going to rent for a couple of years. We're going to save some money up. We thought we were going to do the cool old house with lots of quirks, but we're going to fix it up. And we're not those people.
Yeah, because is there more to be done, Hannah, more than this $90,000 HELOC? Would you guys have to put more money into the house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so so it kind of feels like a lose-lose, bad purchase, bad neighbor situation, right? Do you guys, so you guys have some credit card debt. Do you have any money saved?
Just the $1,000 emergency fund.
Okay.
So if you sold this house, you could use equity and clean up everything, look at each other and go, we are not those people. We're not HGTV people. We thought we were, but we're not. So cool. We're going to rent for 2 years, save up some money.
You'll walk around with around $50,000 in equity. That'll go down some with realtor stuff and, fees and commissions, but you'll walk away with some. And I think you guys rent for a while, and it may be a start over process for you, But again, the peace of mind is really big, Hannah. And you were like shaking talking to us, and I don't know if it was because you're nervous because it's me and John, or the situation brings so much emotion, but I heard it in your voice, and so there is a peace of mind there, and the fact that this is a money pit of a house, it just wasn't a wise purchase, right? So yeah, looking at other options, it might be the case, and knowing that you'll be renting for a bit, but if that brings peace of mind, that brings peace of mind.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.